Hey everybody, it's Kenny K here, and I actually I've been twitching with this idea lately of one of my favorite horror and slasher movies is Halloween 1978, and even Halloween 2 1981. The other ones are The Thing from 1982 and even The Blair Witch Project from 99. These are all for my one number one videos. Now, what I wanted to do is because I wanted to do, I mean, I probably can do because I don't have the funds to do that, but I really wanted to make something new as Halloween because the spirit of Halloween is completely lost. They're going to make a new Halloween movie, I heard. It's gonna be stupid. It's gonna be a cash grab again, and the new trilogy, and for actually everything after two kind of lost that. And what Halloween is about isn't about gore, isn't about how many kills we can fit in this, you know, little movie. No, it's about that atmosphere and that tension and that suspense and building it up slowly but more and more until and even until the breaking point. Not everybody's getting massacred, but you get kills that even build up more suspense. And that's what Halloween was, and that's not what Halloween is anymore, and that's such a shame. And I got an idea from one of the movies, the sequels that aren't good. Resurrection, Halloween Part 8, Halloween Resurrection from Rick Rosenthal. And there's an idea in there that you can do. It's the camera angle, the Big Brother angle, and a little bit of the found footage genre. What I wanted to do was make a sequel, but actually a sequel that takes place between Halloween 2 and H20, explaining how Michael Myers, first of all, what he's been doing, how he got his mask back, how he got his clothes back, how he got the address of the nurse that was killed in that wasn't killed. I mean, the nurse that he kills in H2O. How did he find her? And that the found footage would actually be a segue into H2O, basically. Yeah, because he has a car, right? So, and it would be a found footage movie with this television crew from this established television network, and they are doing true crime stuff, and they're wanting to make the Haddonfield massacre, the Haddonfield Halloween massacre. You know, that would be something like that. That would be also the title, right, of the found footage movie. But they wanna. It's not that they're gonna make that title, but they wanna go there, and they get an invitation of the mayor, but the mayor wants them to basically get rid of the bad reputation the town has since the killings that one night that took place in 78. So they're going there, and they're talking, of course, with the people of Haddonfield, and you have people who don't want to talk about it, people who do, and you got a crew of four. You've got the sound guy, the camera guy, the reporter, and the director. Now the director is a guy, the reporter is a female, and then the two other ones are guys too. You have one guy who is a bumbling idiot who doesn't want to do his job. That's the sound guy, and the camera guy is serious. The reporter is a bitchy reporter who wants to get bigger, and the director is kind of the person that holds everything in balance, right? Now, when they arrive, immediately they're harassed by the sheriff, the new sheriff of Haddonfield, and they're asked to to interview him, and he has almost nothing to say, and he says, "Do your little documentary and get the hell out of my town, okay? Don't do something stupid." And then he's gone. Now, eventually, when they're staying at this B&B, then they get information. They go to the local Haddonfield news, the Haddonfield Gazette, right? And they're talking to the boss and the journalist. And there's this one journalist. Everybody say, "Oh no, it's a nice town, this and that. It's a quaint town. You have children, families playing on the streets even when it's dark. Had this and that. Halloween is a nice night." Then one reporter knows what's happening. So let's say something happened that made the news, and that was a crime of passion. A guy killing a woman and a man that was the guy's ex and the new boyfriend, and killing himself after that. And they put it on like, and they basically made it a crime of passion. But what it really was a guy copycatting Michael Myers with a mask, going into a random house, killing these two people, and there was another one involved, and that person, a she, was cut, and the man got shot, and the cover up was she disappeared. She The next day she disappeared, gone. And it wasn't signs of breaking an entry or foul play, she was just gone. And then the journalist also knows that there's an area in a certain place of Haddonfield where a lot of kills are happening. But these are mainly vagrants and drunks. And it's always blamed on them fighting each other. It's a little more of a bad place of Haddonfield. And it took a little of Halloween Ends because Michael Myers' house is demolished. He, now, they go to that place, they talk to the vagrants, and they're saying, "No, we're not killing each other." No, but the law is here. They don't want to listen, and if we talk, we get punished, and not by somebody bad. If somebody else, by the law. And then this journalist is with him, and he's showing these places, and then he says a lot of the vagrant says a lot of kills happen there. And then you go to a sewage hole, and then of course the picture reporter saying, "I'm not going in there," and the director says, "We gotta go in there, it's good for the story." They go in there, not all the way through, and then the sound guy that I said was a retard. I mean, he's the imbecile. He scares the reporter with a Michael Myers mask, like this, and she's saying, "What the fuck? Get that shit out of your face!" And she throws it away, and he's like, "Hey, I paid $200 for that on eBay. I was just making a joke." And then the director says, "You know what? She's going," and the director says, "Wait. Okay, let's just leave. Let's just leave." And the guy says, "Wait, I need my mask." What the hell? She threw it right there. Then, okay, they're going. Hence, Michael Myers has his new mask back. The clothes, he got one of these, a drunk that was a mechanic. There. A vagrant that had something like an overall on. There you go. Now, we're gonna get this little. So they're still like interviewing, and we get this. They're going to the the graveyard where the victims are. A lot of the victims are buried, and then in the distance, one of the camera guys sets his camera down. He's drinking some water or soda, and in the distance we see somebody behind a tree with a pale face looking at them, but the crew doesn't see him. But it's very far away, and that pale face is constantly coming closer and closer and closer until the pale face is starting to get recognized by one of the crew members and thinking they're followed, thinking that it's a copycat. At some point, thinking it's the sheriff, and they want them out. And then at some point, they think it's a copycat. is it that? There's paranoia. There's this suspense building up. What the hell is this? Going back to the roots of Carpenter. Then the sheriff is knocking on the B&B's door, and the owner opens up, and he's asking for the people who are using the room. Oh yeah, he says the investigation crew. Yeah, 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 I know, and they're getting them, and they all have body cams for B-roll and behind the scene footage. So that's the reason why we can still say they're refilming until they go to bed, or if they go and take a shower or something. And the sheriff says, "Now I want you out tomorrow morning because something happened to blah 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 blah." The reporter, his apparently somebody broke into his house and we found blood and a bloody knife. We didn't find the body though, and this is happening because you idiots are here. So if you're not gone until if you're not gone tomorrow morning, I personally will come back, and you don't want to see me pulling you out of this house, right? And then something like that. So he's threatening them basically. The journalists, they go to the house, he's gone. He had some files for them. They took the files. It was hidden. He made this little video, and he hears somebody knocking, and then it's basically what, and he's taking a knife because he also said he's being followed by someone, or he doesn't know, he's not sure, and because it happened with copycats, okay. And then eventually the camera falls because there was a disturbance, and he said where to look for these files, and because of the sheriff and all that, they find the files. Now this would be the segue part. This would be the moment that Michael Myers, the four people are upstairs. One is taking, the director is taking a shower. The other one, the sound guy is smoking a joint. The camera guy is just chilling, and the reporter is at a room. Now, what we get to see is the sound guy. He hears some rumbling. He goes there and he sees that Michael Myers is basically chopping and stabbing the hell out of these B&B owners, and then he's coming after him. Now, of course, the other guy comes with his stupid body cam thing, the camera guy, and sees the guy with the sound guy, and then we get the gore, right? We get a few scenes of good gore. We get him a good gory scene that the director comes out of the shower with a thought, what the hell is going on? He gets killed. Then he tries to run away in his room. The room gets breaking in, and he just gets fucked up. Then we go to the last survivor. The last survivor, the one female reporter, gets her coming ups. This time, no. This time, Michael Myers win. She falls. You see that she's obviously dead with the body cam. There's another camera on a desk. Michael Myers does this weird thing with his head, but he's not looking at the body. He's looking at a paper. He picks up the paper. Then we see his head going gone, and we see the face of Nurse Marion. That was the lead the journalist gave. He takes it with him, or drops it. Maybe he has a good memory, and he takes the car of the B&B owners, and I actually had the idea of these when the crew arrives, but you can't do that because of copyright, that somebody puts on the radio and you hear Mr. Sandman, right? And then when Michael Myers leaves, he puts on the radio, and we also hear Mr. Sandman, yes. And then we hear this, because you can't use noise on the found footage, right? We hear him going away with the Mr. Sandman song. Now you can make that song if you do a own version of it. But again, that's the big picture of it. There's details still small details I want to put in there, but that would be cool. That would be so cool. I think that would be a great idea if somebody did that. I mean, I want to do that, but I would really want to do that, but it's something cool. We never seen that before. It's not meant to be a sequel. That's not meant the movie meant. It's meant to be the sequel is H2O basically. It's in the Laurie Strode timeline, which I'm thinking is the most favorite timeline. It's my favorite one, and but we don't get any Laurie Strode. We get the name, of course. She committed suicide, right? And we also put a little bit of the Jamie Lloyd stuff in there, maybe, but that's to be seen. But it's the sequel of Halloween 2. So the Jamie Lloyd stuff would probably will be maybe we film it, but then okay. But if we use it, that would be left to see. But that's if it does well, right? But I really wanted to do something like that, giving that Michael this atmosphere of those movies, the buildup of those movies. That was what made those movies great. And I do think Halloween fans from that appreciate those movies from back then, and not the Halloween movies from the trilogies of kill, evil dies tonight, and blah 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 blah. And that's not a story. That's just a maniac going around and killing a bunch of people nonstop. Then Halloween Ends is so confusing, but they had an idea, but they should have start with that idea from the beginning, and maybe gave a little bit more story about the guy who becomes kind of Michael Corey was his name, and then maybe they should have started with that, but no, it's they don't know what to do with it anymore, and they thought, oh, we found the magic idea, just retcon everything after one, and they still don't get it right because they say Michael Myers, he only killed like 3 people. That's not a lot. He killed 4. The mechanic, but okay. So that's what I mean. That's what I mean. I even found this little. This is Leslie Vernon. This is a found documentary, found footage style movie. The rise of Leslie Vernon. Look at that little thingy in the corner there, if you can see that. That's the matchbook that Nurse Marion used and Loomis sees in the car in the first movie when they're going to pick up Michael Myers to go to court, and she's super nervous, and she's smoking one after the other, and then later on we see that Michael Myers, but don't ask me how, he went to find this mechanic named Phelps, I believe, same matchbook, same emblem on the car, and that's in this little movie here. So that's what I want to. That's what I mean. How big of a fan I am. The details will be then put in the movie that I wanted to make. But maybe it's just a pipe dream. Who knows? So I hope you liked it. Subscribe, comment, like. This is a non-profit situation here, so it's free. It's all good. See you next time. Bye.